Am I the asshole for firing my kid and then making him work for free? I own a water park. Before everyone calls bullshit, I never said I own Disneyland. I own a water park. It's small and local, more like a state fair type situation. I don't really know how to describe it. That's irrelevant though. Up until COVID, it was a very successful water park, now it's a struggling water park. I hire a lot of high schoolers because frankly, who else will work for $10, free park privileges, free fried food, and no health benefits? Sounds evil, but we used to have stacks of applicants, even kids calling for volunteer gigs. Because of COVID, we've had to cut the staff. I hired maybe 20 less people and cut hours of operation, and also now I've had to put my teenagers on payroll. Now that my kids, specifically my 16-year-old son, work there, they have the same benefits the staff does. They can bring 2 friends for free admission, discounts on 3 others, free food for the 3, discounts for the other 3. Well, my kid decided to pull a Richie Rich and act like an asshole and demand everything for free for like 6 people. Security was too scared to kick out the boss's kid, and called me instead. I had to come there and kick them out myself. As a result, I fired and banned my kid and banned his friends. I also am making him pick up trash at park for 6 hours on Saturdays. My wife said this punishment is extreme and embarrassing and I'm being an asshole. To me, I see it as him helping and contributing to the family business. Especially after how he treated the staff who puts food in mouth. What about you guys Reddit? Do you guys think I'm being an asshole? Edit. So I can't go into too many details for reasons. But basically, my kid shows up with 6 hoodlums. They refuse to let security check their bags. One kid has a knife, another weed and booze. One had pepper spray. It was a girl. I give her a slight pass because being a girl is scary, but still against the rules. They refuse to pay. They called a kid who works the ticket counter who has special needs a retard and basically said that I'd personally make sure he gets fired if he didn't let them in. Poor guy, is in the process of quitting and I'm trying to convince him not to, maybe a lawsuit to be honest. When it was lunchtime, my kid went behind the snack bar and made food for all his friends and some cute girls that were in line and didn't charge them. He was in a bathing suit and no shoes working a fryer and grill, huge health violations. Then made a mess and refused to clean up after themselves. Then they went up a tall ride and tossed things off them including a can. Cause we run a very family-oriented park with rides for kids starting at 3 years old. My kid granted wasn't as bad as some of the others but he knows WAAAAAAAAAAAY better than this. With all my family, including my mom and dad working at the park. Also we don't have an office, it's the ticket counter, filled with 16-years-olds. We really have no one to leave him with and home and he can't be trusted home alone. Willing to take any and all suggestions on how to punish this kid if you think what I'm doing is not right. Final edit. Thank you all for your comments. At the end of the day, asshole or not, I'm really just trying to play with the cards I've been given. Park was closed today for weather. This was a good distraction. I'm turning off comments and will be deleting this profile at some point because I said a lot more than I intended because of some of the legal aspects of this situation. Signing off. We'll be shutting off notifications. Blessings to you and yours. Not the asshole. Also, in my opinion, you're teaching your kid not to be an asshole. I'm going to say barely not the asshole. I understand he's your kid and it's a punishment for him to pick up the trash, but being that he was previously an employee, it seems illegal adjacent. I don't know. I don't know what the law is where you are. Not the asshole for firing your own kid and punishing him for being an asshole to your other employees, but I'd maybe think up a different punishment like cleaning up your home or whatever. Also, info. How long did you plan on having him clean up the trash at the water park? Not the asshole. Being hard on him now is going to save him a world of pain later. Keep being a dad. Not the asshole. You sound like a great dad. Please can you explain to me how I can end up owning a water park? I think I'd like that. By the way, your title is a bit misleading. It makes it sound like he's doing the same job, but for free. What you've done is fired him as his employer, and as his dad you've taken away a privilege and given him a punishment chore. That's all totally standard stuff. Info. I have a few questions. 1. Why did you ban the friends? Did they actually do anything wrong other than being there? 2. How long do you intend for the punishment to be, and what will the results post-punishment be? Will he get his job back, and if so will he still have the same privileges as the rest of the staff, or are you not going to rehire him? 3. How exactly did he treat the staff? In the last paragraph you say the punishment is fair partially due to his treatment of them, but what did he actually do? Boss them around? Let his friends be rude? Or is it just because he put them in an uncomfortable situation but was otherwise nice? Not the asshole. One of the rare times I read the title, but am actually swung by the context of the post. And #X200B. Your kid was acting like a jerk and you gave a reasonable punishment. It's harsh, but if he was carrying on all, Richie Rich, then that's exactly what he needs. Whatever anyone else says, stick firm. Good parenting. Not the asshole. Good for you for not allowing him to abuse his position as the boss's kid. I applaud your discipline actually because hopefully he learned something from this. All the you are the asshole commentators will be raising the next generation of entitled brats. Am I the asshole for calling out my sister's boyfriend in a group chat? Please do not share on any other websites. I, 22 female, am in a group chat with my boyfriend, 23 male, my sister, 24 female, her boyfriend, 23 male, and our childhood friend, 25 male. Our friend is going through a bad divorce, so he created this group chat to plan stuff with us so he isn't alone all the time, and he's with people who support him basically. In the group chat he planned a date with all of us to go to a water park for the day. We all agreed and set the plan for a couple weeks from the day we talked about it. A few days ago my sister said in the chat that she has no money and won't be able to go. Our friend immediately offered to pay for her instead. Her boyfriend then kind of mockingly was all, "Thanks for that name. I appreciate it." He said this in kind of a hostile manner but didn't offer to pay on his own. I then chimed in and immediately offered to pay for her ticket if her boyfriend didn't want to pay for her. He got kind of hostile again and was all, "Thanks for offering for me to pay name. CGF? I'm legally obligated to pay for you now because your sister pulled the boyfriend card and I am bound by this social construct." I thought that was pretty rude to say, but I also have the point of view that he would at least want to pay for my sister considering they've been together for years and I know firsthand she pays for everything for him. She even bought his drink on her birthday when we all went out, and he only paid for their half of the dinner after my sister was about to swipe her card but the hostess stopped her and asked why she would pay for herself and her boyfriend on her own birthday. Her boyfriend then paid begrudgingly out of peer pressure, but never once offered to pick up the tab for her on his own. I've been around them for years and I've probably seen him only once or twice pick up the tab. We concluded the conversation by me basically saying yes, he's her boyfriend and he should pay for her as the man in the relationship, but I would be happy to if not. I also texted her privately about this saying I wouldn't want her to be left out and I'd be more than happy to pay as a gift. She said I intruded on their relationship and embarrassed her BF, and to leave her alone. I've been nice to them both since but I honestly don't regret what I saw as standing up for my sister. Am I the asshole? Edit. When I say he's the man and he should pay, I say that from the point of view of knowing he has the personal belief so he preaches it but doesn't do it. I've never even seen him pay for equal shares with her. I personally like to pay my own tab or split cause I think everything should be equal. But I know not everyone has the same point of view and every relationship is different. She always pays his way and yes he does have a job. I guess I thought it was hypocritical but just want to clarify. Edit 2. When he replied, "Thanks," to both the friend and I in the group chat it was meant as a form of sarcasm because he didn't like the fact that we offered for her instead of him, but didn't want to pay on his own. There have been many occasions where I have paid for stuff for him when hanging out with him without asking for anything in return. He never picks up the tab, but especially in the case of my sister as if he's trying to make a point. Info. Why did you assume, "Thanks for that name. I appreciate it," was meant to be mocking? The reason why I ask is that tone can be hard to pick up over text. If he said this on the phone or in person, I would trust your ability to pick up on his tone. Or did he say something else that led you to believe he was joking? Edit after learning info. Yes, the boyfriend is an asshole in general and doesn't sound like a great guy. But it was not your place to call him out in a group chat based on the message he left. If his behavior has been a continual issue, it should have been handled in a more private environment. Not the asshole. Although, it sounds like there is a much deeper resentment here that just happened to culminate around this particular event. It sounds like he is generally okay with your sister paying his way but can't stand being called out for being a cheap ass. He should pay for her as the man in the relationship. You are the asshole. You are the asshole only for this situation. Your sister's boyfriend may be the asshole in general, but you crossed a line here, maybe a couple. He just thanked your friend. There was nothing moving about the sentence you shared here. Unless he sent a voice message, you can't tell her is mocking just from that sentence. You on the other hand, jumped right in, after someone offered to pay and the boyfriend thanked them, to stir things up based on your assumptions and prejudice. He doesn't have to pay just because he is the man in the relationship, and this was not the place to start in on your issues with him in general. Fuick, that's sexist antiquated bullshit. He should pay, he's the man. This stupid nonsense is toxic as all get out. You are the asshole. But so he is. Boyfriend seems like a total idiot that needs to get a slap of reality and seems to be getting it. You are an asshole for expecting a man to pay the bills like this was the 1950s. Reverse that, and tell your sister that she should be a som and do all the chores. It doesn't sound so good, does it? You are the asshole specifically for your text. While I don't like his response, you could have offered to pay and left him out of it. Your comment was unnecessary, and it's ridiculous to say, he should pay for her as the man in the relationship. You are the asshole. So far all I've seen is you applying your standards and expectations to your sister and her BF's relationship and being rude to him for not living up to your standards. It's not your business. He said thanks to a friend who offered to pay for your sister, and you nosed in to just stir the pot. The only people who have any right to decide who pays for dinner or drinks or anything in their relationship is your sister and her boyfriend. Not you, not a waitress, nobody else. If you're truly concerned about their situation, then take you sister aside privately. Trying to guilt people or publicly shame them into conforming to your ideology is just rude. Edit. Yeah. When you open your edit contradicting what you just said in your closing paragraph, it automatically becomes suspect. Am I the asshole for being proud of losing weight and calling it a healthier lifestyle? So I really need some perspectives on this, so thank you in advance. I have struggled with weight all my life. I was never thin or in shape. Lost 20 kilograms, 40 pounds, a few years back but gained the double amount shortly after. My mental health suffered, and after losing my dad in that time frame I wasn't in the right headspace to lose weight again. Beginning of last year I moved cities and jobs and my mental health got a lot better. Being in the right place during Zovid helped a lot, to the point where I felt like I could finally concentrate on losing weight again, especially cause I obviously gained during quarantine. Around the same time a coworker, we'll call him Mr. Motivator, M for short, came to work and I noticed he had dropped a few kgs. After a short conversation I found out about intermittent fasting. So the past 3 months I have been on a 16-to-8 schedule, 16 hours of fasting, and I am loving it. I have lost around 12 kilograms, 24 pounds, and I can already fit into pants I bought a few years back. I still got a look way to go though. I am still considered obese, and I am determined to change that. So anyways, with people slowly returning to work we are able to utilize our break room like we used to. Tables are spaced out of course, but it's nice to sit back down with colleagues. Today at lunch I was eating with Mr. M and 2 other colleagues, C1 and C2. And I was talking about my current diet plans after C2 asked about it. I was in the middle of saying, I feel a lot better too. It is just a healthier lifestyle in general, I think. I am just really proud of myself. When a third coworker joined the break room, let's call her Tabby. Fake name obviously, Tabby is a bit heavier herself. I noticed Tabby only after I finished my sentence and heard her sigh, like an annoyed sigh, and I looked at her. She looked down at her lunch, so I forgot about it. After lunch I was walking back to my desk when Tabby stopped me in the hallway and said, I think it is really sad that you are contributing to a society where looks are everything and personality doesn't matter. You shouldn't run around and tell people that your lifestyle is healthier than others and that you're even proud of it. That is not your right. I was a but confused cause in my mind. Eating healthier and doing some sport is in general a healthier way of living. I even thought so before I started losing weight. So I asked her what she meant because she confused me. She said, you know exactly what I am talking about, so stop pretending. Being on a strict diet is not healthy and claiming otherwise is dangerous. I started saying, but it depends what sort of diet, but she cut me off right after I said, but, and just said, you're being a real asshole, right? No, you do realize that, don't you? And started walking off. Now I am sitting at my desk wondering what to do next, besides asking some people on the web whether I was in the wrong here. So am I the asshole for being proud of losing weight and calling it a healthier lifestyle? Not the asshole. What to do next? Email your HR before she does. Opinion. She has insecurities surrounding her size. In January I weighted 425 plus, scale errored out there. I get her griff, so do you. Being fat sucks, and it takes a lot to change it. More than many of us are capable of. Instead of accepting our failures, we look to blame others for not accepting us. In reality, it's us not accepting ourselves and the truth of the situation. Honestly, no one cares and no one's really watching us. Strict physician-monitored diet, 60 minutes of segmented hard exercise every day, blood work regularly, and I'm down to 324 pounds as of last Wednesday. Edit. Also do a 16 to 8 fast, and eat plant-based meals breakfast and lunch, chicken breast meat at dinner. Not the asshole she butted into a conversation she had no part in. Not the asshole there is a window if where you could be TA if you were actively shaming Tabby, but you were not. There is also a window where Tabby would not be TA either, but she inserted herself into your business, quite aggressively and hypocritically. Tabby. You shouldn't run around and tell people that your lifestyle is healthier than others and that you're even proud of it, that is not your right. Also Tabby. Being on a strict diet is not healthy and claiming otherwise is dangerous. I'll say not the asshole because from what you said, you didn't impose your lifestyle on anyone. If she found herself called out, it's her problem. Congratulations on keeping healthy and good luck with it. You were asked a question, you answered. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Congrats on your achievement by the way. You're allowed to talk about it. However, I would say, just don't bring it up around Tabby to avoid any issues in the future. I will say that people are allowed to tell you not to talk about weight loss around them. Some people have potentially struggles with things like Ed in the past, and you should respect that. However, they have no right to be mocking your diet or trying to shame you for it. If Tabby had just said, "Could you please not talk about your diet, weight loss around me, it upsets me," I would have said nah. However, Tabby did not just do that, she claimed your lifestyle was unhealthy, which isn't her business, and called your decision sad. That makes her not the asshole. Lose more weight by cutting such people out of your life. No assholes here. To be honest, the research on whether or not intermittent fasting is healthy is pretty mixed. It may well be healthier than obesity, so I'm proud of you for sticking with something that works for you. Just maybe keep in mind that it might be a bit reckless to say it's a healthy lifestyle in public. You are not an asshole though, you deserve to celebrate a positive change in your life. Am I the asshole for questioning why I had to leave a public space at a bar by a group of ladies? Hello. I recently went out to one of our local gay bars with my friends. I'm gay. This one bar is colloquially known as a gay bar for straight people, so we'll have a wide range of folks patronizing this particular establishment. The bar has a large outdoor patio filled with several lounge areas, i.e., couches and small tables that could fit a group of friends. I got in and sat down at the end of one of these lounge seats to settle my head a bit. I had been drinking. This lounge area was filled with a group of women on the other side, ETA. About 2-3 empty spaces away on the lounge seat. But I figured they wouldn't mind me sitting there and socializing with my group of friends. 2 social circles operating independently in a public setting. It's not uncommon for people here to share spaces since it can get so packed. Heck, it usually leads to new friends. ETA. I was facing away from them the entire time to face my friend group. One woman approaches me and says, "I'm sitting with my friends." I made space so she could sit next to me if she wanted and we could still both interact with our friend groups with both of us on the lounge seat. She then asked me to leave and proceeded to say, "No one wants you here." I asked if they paid for the table, and when they said no, I mentioned that it was a public space. Security for this bar comes and tells me that I need to move because I am harassing these women. I got up and stood with my friends, again, about a few feet away from this lounge area. But asked security if me simply sitting down or asking if this group had any financial claim over this public space was considered harassment. After I stood up, neither the women nor security approached me again. I was literally 2 feet further from where I was. I understand that as a larger guy, 6 female, 220 pounds, my general presence could have truly intimidated these ladies. But seeing how they no longer cared about my presence once I left, I'm inclined to believe the OG woman who called security upgraded our disagreement to harassment, to garner sympathy, weaponize the ETA, harmful but prevalent, frail, needs protection, perception of women, and get me removed. She even told security that I asked nicely several times, which I considered a disingenuous recollection at best. Again, with every other gay bar, this sort of close fraternizing, shared spaces is common. It's a bar. If you agree to be a part of a community in a public space, you also tacitly agree to share said public space. It only seems to be in spaces with straight and/or female-presenting individuals where we suddenly run into problems. Disclaimer: this is not some sort of bullshit incel attack on women. This is my general observation that some women have a history of coming off more entitled and confrontational in supposedly gay spaces. Closing square bracket. I understand that this situation was not a hill worth dying on, but I don't think it's unfair of me to question something that seems illogical in the moment. So what do you guys think? As a straight woman, you don't get to go to a gay bar and ask gay men to leave. Not the asshole. Definitely not the asshole. She was rude and told you that, no one wants you here. Who says that? Plus, like you said, it was a public place. The fact that she got security to get you to move 2 feet is ridiculous. Of course not the asshole. You were minding your business as a bar patron. The lady probably wanted more space to socialize with her group and lied and threw you under the bus to get her way. You did nothing wrong. Not the asshole. Queer woman here. Straight girls monopolizing gay spaces and making us alphabets feel unwelcome in our own zone is the absolute worst. Sorry they did this to you. I honestly wish they didn't invade our space with their bullshit. You were not the asshole here. The group of women were in the wrong on multiple levels. If you had to sit to settle your head, I no longer think your recount of what happened is all that reliable. Are you an ass in this situation? Nah, probably not. Did you possibly intrude on a woman's personal space by accident in a manner that would have been perceived as aggressive? Maybe. You were out drinking at a bar. Shit happens, move on. Info. What are the COVID protocols? Are everyone from different parties required to stay 6 feet apart? Not the asshole. Maybe they were genuinely intimidated by you, but OT doesn't sound like it. They were in a group in a bar. I wonder if maybe they had had drinks too, but calling security to move you for sitting in a public area is extreme if you weren't doing anything bad. It was a public space. No, it's a private space, owned by the bar, to be allocated as the bar sees fit. I'm inclined to believe. Translation. I'm making shit up. Summary. You were asked to move, you moved, and no one bothered you. The conflict seems entirely in your head. Why is this even here?